Hello, my name is Nell, and I have things to say. Do you remember when I used to start every video like that? I've been doing this for 6 years, so I've changed things around quite a bit, but yeah, that used to be my thing. I would say, hello, my name is Nell, and I have things to say about disability, chronic illness, and mental health. Mental health. If those things interest you, please subscribe. And it took me a while to do the subscribe shill thing. That made me really nervous. But yeah, 6 years I've been doing this. I went into it with high expectations that were soon dashed on the rocks of reality. I think it's sometimes the people around you will tell you that you have a big, strong voice. And then when you add that voice to the millions of people on the internet or in other spheres, you realize that your voice is very little more than a squeak. And that can be crushing. But I mean, I'll keep on squeaking. I'll keep on jumping on here and doing my little squeaks every now and again because sometimes people do appreciate it. I get very, very low views, but the views I do get really count for me. If I do impact the 20, 30, 50 people that do watch my videos, then that's that matters. That matters. And I like having a real world impact as well of reaching people in the real world. Just talking to people on the street about disability and, giving out my card and then having somebody email me and being able to build up a connection and help people that way, that's worth it. The internet isn't the only way to build our self-worth, which if you start doing stuff on the internet, you really have to quickly learn that. But yeah, I thought I'd just do a little end of year roundup. I don't always do that. Can't always be asked. But today I can be asked. The arsing can be done. So let's get asked and do an end of year roundup. I'll have a look at some things that I've achieved this year. I'll have a look at some things that I'd like to achieve next year. Some things that will probably happen next year that I'm not particularly looking forward to. But I just want to keep you in the loop if you are interested at all in where my life is going. Also, shout out to a lovely subscriber, I know who they are, who sent me this lovely Hello Kitty shirt. It's really fun. The only problem I have with it is that most of the cool stuff is on the back, which no one sees because I'm sitting down. But it is very fun, and I've matched my look today to my shirt, which is very cool. So yeah, what have I achieved this year? I often look back at my year and I think that I haven't achieved enough. And then once I actually piecemeal it out, I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't done too bad. Especially because a lot of what I'm achieving is more than I achieved 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. I'm doing more. So I've got to be doing something right. There's some part of me that is doing okay. My spirit is strong. My body is not always strong, but I'm doing my best. And my best is enough. I measure things by my best, not by the expectations other people might have of me, not even by the expectations I have of me. My best is enough, whatever my best happens to be on any given day, and that fluctuates. Consistency is not the be-all, end-all. Let's remember that. So what have I achieved this year? A huge thing was that I made my album. My mother has said that I've been singing since I opened my mouth, and then at 35, I released my first album that I did by myself because I'm too poor to have anyone help me. So yeah, released my album. Now I have CDs that I can sell to people or just give people as a gift. Like when I was in hospital, I just gave one to a couple of nurses that were nice to me. And every time I give away a CD for free, it means other people will be like, hey, who's that? Oh, it's the person I met. And then they look me up on Spotify. It's all marketing genius right here. I don't know if that's how it works. I don't know if that actually translates at all, but it's nice. So yeah, released a CD. I've been able to do some interviews on local radio from that. I was in Eldora Britain Records magazine. They have a zine, an e-zine, and I was in there, headlined that, which was very cool. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Tom did a really good write-up about me. Made me sound like I was an actual guy. Made me sound like I'm actually something and doing something, which was very cool. So yeah, that was great. I played my local music festival. I did my own set, which was wonderful. So I got a bit of attention and love there. One big thing was that I joined the Aruma Human Rights Advisory Committee. Now, Aruma, I've been receiving assistance and care from them for a number of years, almost 10 years. And they have a human rights committee, and I was invited to join that. And that was really encouraging because a lot of my advocacy, I kind of do it on my own. I am that one little squeaking voice in the sea of millions. And so the Human Rights Advisory Committee, it was like somebody heard my squeaking voice and pulled it up onto the boat. And so I am amplifying their voices, they're amplifying my voices, we're working together. And so through that, I was invited to speak at their annual conference, which was wonderful. And then got another job through them, and hopefully we'll get more work, speaking work, presentation work, and education work through them, because they seem to recognize my strengths and appreciate my strengths, which is really, really encouraging. Finding a group that can see me, can see the fact, my sort of relaxed, brutal honesty, my sort of laid back, tell it like it is, you've effed up and you need to change, and here's how you can do it, that kind of approach. They really recognize that and see the value in that. Somebody described my presentation at a conference as intentional discomfort, which was nice. I thought I went a bit strong, but they said, no, you did it right because you didn't let anyone get comfortable about an uncomfortable topic. I thought, okay, yeah, that's good. That's my niche. So that was a really good experience. Oh, I started a diploma of clinical coding this year because as much as I would love to do a lot of advocacy in music, things are so sporadic that it doesn't pay the bills. And I have a lot of bills. I'm very sick and I take 90 pills a day. To keep all this together, to be able to do the music and the advocacy, I need to take 90 pills a day. 90 pills a day, not really covered by the pension. So trying to get a day job. And I have a complicated relationship with my diploma because the organization I'm going through has had some ups and downs, and I'm often not well enough to study. So I have these strange feelings about, will I be well enough to work? Probably not a lot. My job capacity assessment through Centrelink is very low. So my capacity to study is low, and then my capacity to actually work will be quite low. So I will have to go through employment services to find people to work for who don't mind the fact that I might only be able to do 3 hours a week. But the studying is the main part, and I am enjoying learning a lot about healthcare and looking forward to the idea of being able to participate in the healthcare system and improve the healthcare system in some way. That would be nice. What are we looking at next year? Hopefully more music gigs, hopefully more advocacy gigs. One big thing is that I'm hoping to start a band. I've got my beautiful little ivory guitar, and we do quite well. We busk, we play markets, we've gotten some gigs. But for me, it's not quite enough. There are times when I want to do more with my music. In a live performance, I would like to flesh something out. I'd like to have a solo. I'd like to do something, but I'm not skilled enough in guitar and I'm not strong enough. My arms get really tired if I'm playing too much. And if I get a 2-hour gig sometime, that's a lot of playing and I don't have the stamina and I don't have the skill. So I'd really like to look into putting a little band together, getting a keyboard player, getting somebody who can play drums or has a drum machine, has drum machine, will travel. Maybe down the line getting a guitarist and having a little 2 or 3 piece. 3 or 4 piece band. And some of my music that I'm writing, I would really like to see it with more layers, with some live harmonies. Like my CD has harmonies that were all me. I would love to have some harmonies live. I would love to have percussion live. I would love to have those things. So I'm looking at reaching out to musicians in the local area and asking if anyone would be interested in putting a little band together. I think it would maybe be easier to do that than having friends to start a band with, because there's a little bit of a different power dynamic. It's like I write music and I would like to start a band. I'm the big boss and I'm starting a band. And here's how we can it's a business arrangement. You're starting a job together, you're starting a business together. And so it'll be easier to talk about money and talk about those sorts of things than if you're with a bunch of buddies and you have to start splitting money and splitting hairs. So hopefully it will go okay. One thing I'm not looking forward to is I probably have to fix my teeth. I have a nice smile, but if you look closely, got really, really crappy teeth. I grew up in an environment where I didn't have fluoride in my drinking water for a lot of my childhood. And that damages your teeth. That really does a number on them. I get cavities really easily, even when I'm on a low sugar diet. And then when I was diagnosed with multiple tick-borne infections, which you call Lyme disease in any other country, but in this country, we will use every other 4-letter word except for Lyme. But yeah, I took a lot of antibiotics to treat my chronic tick-borne infections. And a lot of those antibiotics damage your teeth. And a lot of the recommendations are like, stop taking the antibiotics and your teeth might recover. If I stop taking the antibiotics, then my organs are in danger. Teeth, organs, which ones do you choose? So yeah, a big option might be to have teeth removed if they are too damaged. I don't know. Haven't been to the dentist about it because the dentist is expensive. So I need to consider, going on health insurance to be able to afford going to the dentist, because I haven't been to the dentist in 5 years. But my gums and my teeth are looking so damaged, and I know that that's affecting my health. I know that's seeping into my skull and it's affecting my health. I also just feel really, really self-conscious in photos. If I smile too big, my yellowy brown teeth are right there, and it needs to be done soon so that I can get it out of the way before getting too many gigs, because if they're messing with my mouth, they're messing with the money maker. This is a money maker. Yeah. Hopefully more gigs, more advocacy. I would like to stick more to YouTube. I say that every year. I do say that every year. And I never do it. I never follow through. I do think, though, I'm doing more podcasts on my website, nelltyler.com. I have a little podcast section on my blogs. All of my blogs have an audio version. So when I used to write them, I used to type them out and then I would record them so that there's an audio version. Now I just do an audio version because I can't be asked typing anything. I'm too tired to write anything. So I just do a little audio blog. And not typing anything, not having a script has been really liberating. Energy-wise, it means I don't need to do extra work. And I think YouTube-wise, I'll probably do that kind of thing. Just chat about something. I'm thinking I'll talk a lot about what I'm working through in therapy. I did a video called Are You the Therapist Friend? And that has been really well received. And it was something that I had to work through in therapy. So I'm thinking, when I'm learning something in therapy and working through that, once I can kind of come to some conclusions, talk about that on here and say, this is something I've worked through. These are some conclusions I've come to, and it might help other people. I know that a lot of people can't afford therapy. Watching a YouTube video about somebody else's therapy is not a substitute, but it can be interesting because you can relate to other people and their experiences. So I might try doing that. Or I might not do any videos because that's also happened in the past. But yeah, I'm also going to throw in a little flashback video, throwback video to some videos I found on my hard drive of when I was first making my YouTube video, and my very first YouTube video when I started the channel. And there are some funny videos of me really trying hard to make a YouTube intro, and I'm so awkward. Oh, poor boy, he was so awkward. So I want to put that in there just to embarrass myself. I'm almost scared to speak because I'm just speaking in my own room by myself, looking at a viewfinder when I know I should look at you. This sucks. How does anyone get comfortable doing this? This is my second try, and I hate talking to myself. I mean, I've talked to myself for a long time in my life, but talking to myself with a camera pointing at me is weird. I even find it weird to Skype in my own room, because then I'm speaking to someone who isn't there and no one else knows they're there, although I guess you can hear them in Skype. Oh, it's just so awkward. It's so awkward. Anyway. Hello, my name is Nell, and I have things to say. That's how it's going to start. That's how we're going to start. Nice and confident and not weird. Alright. Okay. So, Maddie, this is my screen test.
We can consider this my screen test. I'm in my study. This is where I'd be doing things. Got my new tripod. I was not... Please ignore my crazy daughter. I bought my new tripod. I was so close to using the Cam Girl line when I picked it up. But then we got there and it turned out that the man serving us was my support worker's beloved godson. So I didn't think it was really appropriate to like make a joke about camming. Oh shit. I hate this so much. Why am I doing this?
Poor darling. He was so frightened. I don't know if I'm much better now. I just pretend that you're not there. That's fine. That's easier now. Yeah, that's my roundup. That's my roundup. I've done big things this year. This has been one of my biggest years. Next year, I would like to chill out. Today, I have actually been doing some spring cleaning so that next year I can start with a clean house. Put my house in order. I've put my house in order, as the good book says. But in my version, it just means cleaning out the kitchen cupboards. But yeah, I think we're going okay. I think I've been the most depressed I've ever been at points in this year. But that usually happens with big highs come big lows for me. I've been self-harming again this year. That also happens. I think I've had 2 or 3 episodes this year, which is higher than average. But maybe that means that next year will be lower than average. Maybe it'll balance out. Who knows? All right. That's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you if you're still following my channel and my journey. Hopefully I'll give you content next year. Hopefully it won't be too boring. I don't know anymore. I don't know why anyone would watch me at all. I mean, people watch other streamers and stuff for like 5 hours and they're boring as shit. I don't know. Who knows? Hopefully I'll give you something that you want. All right. That's all for this one. See you in the next one. Bless.